Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Yes, Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Another wonderful episode of Jummah Mubarak on Prime Radio and TV. And as you all know, it's a special day as usual. I tell you guys, every Friday is a mini festive period for me, yes, and every other Muslim ummah out there. So yes, as you all know, the way we do on the show every Friday, I give you the prerequisite of what to do before going for Jummah. So definitely there's need for you to have your Jummah bath afterwards. There's need for you to trim your beard for the trim your your public part. That's for the bumil and female. For the males, you can trim the beards, make it look nice and all. You can apply perfume to it. It's very it's compulsory on males, but you females you need to be very careful so as not to cause fitna. Yes, we don't want our aura to be too much in the public. Yes, afterwards there's need for us to say testing to every Muslim and Muslimah we meet on the way. Yes, it's very important. Afterwards, if when we get to the masjid, try to sit at a close range to the imam, but not too close, you understand, so as not to be like the imam assistant. It's not needed. So afterwards, please be very careful about backbiting or side talks. It's not needed because you are there for a purpose, and that's to gain what the imam has to tell you and to put that into use. So yes, after that, ensure you say taslim to every Muslim and Muslimah that you see on the way, and most importantly, smile because it's sunnah. Yes, having said all this, let's move on to the program of the day. So today on Jummah Mubarak, we'll be talking about maximizing the last 10 days. Yes, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Once again, as you all know, we are in the blessed month, that's Shahr Ramadan, that's the blessed month of Ramadan. And in every Ramadan, certain things are expected. Definitely, many people always like, oh, this Ramadan started during the first 10 days. The second 10 days, like guys like, okay, yeah, I think it has started. Then from there, move on to the final 10 days. We are at the last 10 days. Can you believe it? I can't. I feel like this Ramadan is too fast. But alhamdulillah, there's need for us to understand that since it's the last 10 days, there are some things that are expected of each and every one of us that we need to do. Yes, it's very important that we do it because time is not on our side, guys, and there's need for us to try to gain as much as we can during this festive month. So yes, today on the program I have with me Barrister Taiwo Azan Adediran. Yes, he's a legal practitioner, and also instead of knowledge, as he said, he's actually a scholar. Don't let him like it. So yes, he's giving us some insight on how to maximize the last 10 days. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir. Yeah, you're very welcome to the program. Alright, so let's talk about the last 10 days itself. So many of us are like, okay, Ramadan is here, yes, we'll try to do this with that, but then some of us are not being able to make good use of the Ramadan. We see some people that watch TV, some people that still do this, still backbite, and so I feel like some people are not really doing what they are meant to do. So now that we are the last 10 days, the first question I would like to ask you is, what does the last 10 days itself signify?
Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sallam wa ala ba'd. Thanks to Almighty Allah who has made our life till today with the peace and blessing of Allah upon Muhammad, his household, his companion, and those who follow his footsteps to the day of Qiyamah. Laylatul Qadr is the night of majesty, the night of decree, as mentioned in the Quran and some of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Surah Al-Qadr, that is Quran chapter 97, Allah says, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Verily we have decreed unto you, the Prophet, the Quran, in the night of decree, at the night of majesty, Laylatul Qadr, at the special night. Allah has specialized for the Muslim Ummah. This night is a night that is very important to us as Muslims. As Muslims, we are enjoying to do a lot of ibadat in this sort of Ramadan. But in the last 10 days, we are encouraged to intensify our acts of ibadah in this last 10 days of Ramadan. In that particular chapter of the Quran that I mentioned, that is what we call it, Allah says, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. What has made you to comprehend the night of decree? That is Laylatul Qadr. Allah was asking the Prophet, it's a rhetorical question. He was not asking the Prophet to reply that particular question. He was asking, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. What has made you to comprehend that night of decree, night of majesty? Allah says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. That particular night is better than 1,000 months. It's better than 1,000 months. If you calculate 1,000 months, that is 84 years, 4 months. Mathematically, that's 84 years, 4 months. A single night, if you are able to do acts of ibadah in that single night, and you are lucky, then that particular night is better for you than 84 years, 4 months. That's to tell you that that particular night is very important night. Another says, the angels of Allah will descend on that night. The ruhu, soul here means Angel Gabriel. That is the leader of the angels.
Yes.
So he himself will descend on that night. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. The very peace unto those, unto every one of you who are awake on that night till the daybreak. So that's to tell you that that particular night is a very important night. Then, as Muslims, we are not supposed to be sleeping on that night. Even the whole of Ramadan, we are supposed to be awake, doing tahajjud, reciting Quran, doing adhkar, and other acts of ibadat. But if you are lazy, let me put it like that, if you have been lazy in the first 20 days of this month, then do this last 10 days of Ramadan, that is a day, days starting from today. Today is the 24th of Ramadan, till 29th or 30th of Ramadan. As Muslims, since we have known the importance of this particular month, as said in this particular chapter of the Quran, then we must intensify our acts of ibadat. We must abstain from all those acts of sins, acts that are forbidden in Islam, like backbiting. Probably, I know most Muslims do not commit adultery.
Yes.
Although we have some people who are, they don't care about anything.
As in, we want to forgive us.
Naturally, you know that Muslims are more careful in this particular month.
Yes.
So we must abstain from all those acts. Particularly backbiting. This is one of the sins that we don't take serious. Don't take it seriously. But as Muslims, we must abstain from backbiting. So apart from this, we must engage ourselves in acts of ibadat. Because the particular night is a very important night. And we don't know from these 10 days, the particular night that night will be. Maybe the first night, that is the 21st, that is the last night we have spent.
Yeah.
Maybe the second, that is the night we are looking up to. Then, maybe 23, 24th, 25, 25th, the 29th or 30th. It can be one of any of these nights. So we don't know the particular night is going to be. That is why as Muslims, we must intensify our acts of ibadat in these last 10 days, in all the last 10 days of Ramadan, because it's a very important night. If we are able to meet that night, then it means we are like someone who have worshipped Allah in 84 years, 4 months. More than 84 years, 4 months. That is the importance of that night, the night of decree.
Alhamdulillah. So you've heard it from him. He said you're trying to do the right thing between this last 10 days is something like so great. I mean, the funniest part is almost don't even know if you will live up to it 4 years. So imagine you even doing something this body and then you're actually getting the reward of it 4 years. Alhamdulillah. As Islam is just beautiful. So yes, let's move on to the next question. Fine, you've been able to say that okay, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Allah wa Allahumma balighna Ramadan, Amra bika Ramadan, ya Ramadan. As now, it's now turning to something like okay, you're actually moving gradually to the presence of Baba Ramadan, we'll miss you and like. So then now let's talk about how to maximize this last 10 days itself. It's understandable that okay, yeah, these last 10 days are like the best nights out of the fine, all the nights in Ramadan are special, but the best of all these nights is the one that is between these last 10 days. So now let's talk about how to maximize these last 10 days, because many of us don't actually still know how to maximize these last 10 days.
Alhamdulillah. Like I've said, I know the importance of this particular night. There's no need going back to that. Now, if you want to maximize that particular night, like I've said, you have to be full of ibadat in all the last 10 nights, 10 days of Ramadan, because you don't know that particular day, that particular night is going to fall on. Now, there's a hadith reported by Abu Hurairah. He said, "Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban, ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbihi." Whoever wakes up on a single night of Ramadan with sound aqidah, with belief in Allah, and in anticipation of reward from Allah, Allah will forgive his past sins. That is for the whole of Ramadan. If you wake up in any of the nights of Ramadan and you perform acts of ibadat, then Allah will forgive you your past sins, your minor sins. Now, if that is the case, what do we now say about the night of Ramadan? That is the most important night in the month of Ramadan. The night that is better than 84 years, 4 months. So if you now wake up on that night, it means you will be rewarded abundantly for so doing. There's an hadith of the Prophet reported by Aisha radiallahu anha. She said, the Prophet said, إِذَا دَخَلَ الْعَشْرُ أي الْعَشْرُ الْأَوَاخِرُ مِنْ رَمَضَانَ شَدَّ مِنْصَارُهُ. The Prophet, whenever the last 10 days of Ramadan approaches, he tightens his wrapper. That is, tightens his trousers. He tightens his belt. To do what? To intensify acts of ibadat. That's what he does. How does he do it? One of the ways that you can intensify your ibadat to maximize this particular period is to do itikaf. Seclusion in the mosque. In the masjid. You must seclude yourself in the masjid. You leave your house, you leave your family, you leave your friends, you leave your relatives, then you come to the mosque. For that whole 10 days, you won't leave the mosque. You're praying there, eating your sahur, eating your iftar in that mosque till the last night of Ramadan. So that is one of the good deeds you can do in this month, if you have the ability to do it. So people do not work in this economy we are now. Some people, they have to work before they eat. So if you don't have what to eat, then you can't stay somewhere for 10 days without working. But as Muslims, we are encouraged to do good things. So if you can afford it, the best thing is to put yourself in the mosque to do your act of worship in that particular 10 days. So that is one of the good deeds you can do in that night. Another thing is, apart from doing those things yourself, you wake at night. You wake yourself, you wake your family members, your wife, your children. If you have parents, you are living with your parents, you wake up your parents that they should perform acts of ibadat. Apart from you doing your own acts of ibadat, encouraging people to do good deeds is an act of ibadat too. So if you are doing that too, then you are doing acts of ibadat. That's what the Prophet what he did. He wake his people. He wake up his wives and other people around him to perform acts of ibadat during that particular month. So he doesn't sleep. You don't sleep in that night. It's not compulsory that you must use the whole night to perform ibadat, but use a large amount of that night to perform ibadat. For instance, as Muslim, if you know yourself, you know you are weak. After eating your iftar at night, after the tarawih at night, then you can rest like for 2-3 hours. You wake up like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, then you do it till like 4:30 before you now start eating at 5 and stop eating at past 5. So as Muslims, if you can take care of all this, then you'll be rewarded for so doing. If you want to do itikaf, there are some evidence for itikaf in the Quran. Not as if you are just saying you can do itikaf. No, there are basis for it in the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah. In the Quran, Allah says, "Antahira baiti al-ta'ifina wal-akifina wal-qa'i sujud." Allah was telling Ibrahim that he should prepare Kaaba in Mecca. That's the only mosque in Mecca for those who will be circumambulating the Kaaba and those who will be secluding themselves in the mosque, and those who will be doing itikaf. So itikaf is mentioned in the Quran. That means this particular itikaf has been in existence even before the Prophet came. It has been in existence even during the period of Prophet Ibrahim. So Allah made mention of it in that particular surah. In another surah, Allah says, وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تُبَاشِرُونَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. Do not touch your wives during this particular period. You must not have any copulation with your wives. You must not have sexual relation with your wives. As Muslims, we are allowed, after taking our iftar, at night, we can have relationship with our wives. But anything from daybreak till dawn, till iftar period, then we are not allowed to go close to our wives. But Allah is not saying, even doing itikaf, during that 10 days or 9 days, then you must not move close to your wives. You must not have any kind of sexual relationship with your wife, because you are already in the mosque. You are secluded in that mosque. You cannot do another thing than acts of ibadat. So that's another chapter, another verse where itikaf is mentioned. I've said earlier that our mother Aisha that Prophet used to lighten his bed whenever we enter the last 10 days of Ramadan. What does he do? He used to do itikaf. He used to stay in the mosque for that particular period without moving out till the day of what do you call it? Eid. So he now moves out on the day of Eid to observe Eid and go home. So that's what we should do during this time of now we are not talking of itikaf. We have some conditions that must be met before one can perform itikaf. Just I don't know that as a human being, I can just go to the mosque, be there, and be doing itikaf. No, there's some conditions you must meet. The first one is for you to do itikaf, then you must be a Muslim. A non-Muslim is not allowed to go to the mosque and be doing itikaf. Just like any other act of ibadah, before an act of ibadah can be accepted from you as a human being, you must be a Muslim. If you are not a Muslim, then whatever you do as an act of ibadah, it won't be accepted. So one of the first condition is that you must be a Muslim. Second one, you must be a mumayyiz, someone who knows left from right. Not someone like a toddler or a small boy or girl that doesn't know anything. Now come to the mosque, be disrupting every other activity in the mosque. No, you must be a mumayyiz, someone who is of age, who knows his right from left. The third condition is that you must be an aqil, someone who is sane. A majnun, a mentally impaired person, a lunatic is not allowed to come to the mosque. So you cannot come to the mosque to do itikaf. Just like any other act of ibadah, before you can do an act of ibadah, then you must be an aqil. You must be someone who is sane. Someone who you are not sane, then you are not permitted to do any act of ibadah. You can even do it.
Yes.
That's the point. The fourth condition is you must be to come on Salat al-Jama'ah. You want to do itikaf, it must be done in the mosque where the 5 salawat prayers are observed. You can't do itikaf in your house. You can't do itikaf in an hotel. You can't do itikaf in a hall. It must be in the masjid where 5 daily prayers are observed. What are the reasons? The reasons are that you cannot be doing itikaf and abstain from compulsory prayers.
Yes.
5 daily prayers. So if you are in the mosque where these prayers are observed, then it means you be in the mosque, observing prayer, you go back to your place in that particular mosque, wherever you are put in that particular mosque, you go back there, you observe prayer, all the 5 daily prayers, including the Jummah. That's what scholars have said. Apart from observing the 5 daily prayers, that particular mosque must be a mosque where Jummah is observed, so that you don't have any cause to go out.
Yes, to go and
pray Jummah after observing other salawat in the mosque. So that's another condition. Another condition is that you must be free from any major impurity. That is hadath. Someone who wants to enter into the mosque and itikaf, then he must be pure. A man that in the state of janaba is impure as a sort of sexual intercourse, or because he had a wet dream, he must take the compulsory ghusl before he can enter into the mosque to do itikaf. Another very important condition that I should have even mentioned before is your intention. You must have the intention of doing itikaf. If you don't have the intention, whatever you want to do as an act of ibadah, the intention must precede it. You don't have your intention that, okay, I want to do this because others has permitted me to do it, or because others mandated me to do it, then that particular act will not be accepted. So as Muslims, we must put our intention first. Because said, verily all acts of worship, there must be intention behind them.
Yes.
So if you don't have intention, then your itikaf is not valid. You can't just go to the mosque and say, okay, let me go stay here.
Yeah.
You just stay there for 10 days. without having the intention of doing itikaf that is recommended in the Sharia, then that particular act will not be accepted. You have not done any itikaf. Like someone who says, okay, he just wakes up and says, okay, doing the month of Ramadan. He doesn't know that we are already in the month of Ramadan. Let's say, when we want to start Ramadan now, by the 29th of Shaban, he doesn't have the intention of fasting the following day. Now wakes up the following day, now add that the month have recited. It's okay, I'm fasting. No. Because you don't have the intention at night that you want to fast on a particular day. So, in any act of ibadah, there must be intention. So, if you don't have intention, then that particular act is invalid. So, that's the fifth condition, that you must have intention before you can be said to be doing itikaf, circulation in the mosque. Another thing is that what is the period of itikaf? Like I've said, it starts from the first night of the 21st of Ramadan. That is the last night we have spent. And it ends on the last night of Ramadan. That is 29th of Ramadan, 29th or 30th. The 30th, when we now go for Eid. There are various opinion among scholars as to the duration. Some says it must be from that particular period, that the 21st, the 30th, or 29th. Some says it can be any period, even if it's for 1 hour. But Allah, the correct opinion is that if you want to do itikaf, as far as Ramadan is concerned, because you can do it at any other period, as far as Ramadan is concerned, it should be in all the last 10 days of Ramadan. If you now see any Muslims, any Muslim who wants to do it like for a day or 2 days, we won't send him away from the mosque. Yeah, it's free to do that. But the best thing to do is to do it from the first day, like first 10 that's the first day of the last 10 days of Ramadan to the last day of the 10th day of Ramadan. You understand now? So that is the period we are allowed to do itikaf. Now, what are the things that you can do while doing itikaf, and the things you must abstain from? As Muslims, the things you can do, they are majorly acts of ibadat. You are not there to form a clique, to chat, backbite, not be discussing politics in the mosque, or be discussing football, or discussing music stars in the mosque. No. You are here, you are there purposely for ibadah. So you cannot do another thing except for ibadah. So that's the first thing. All these things I will be mentioning, they are also applicable to Muslims who are not doing itikaf. So that because of time, I want to restate this and I have to go back to it again. So whatever I want to mention now, as acts that can be done doing itikaf, they can equally be done even if you are not doing itikaf. Some of us now we are outside, we are not doing itikaf. Those who are doing itikaf, they are already there, they are already in the mosque. We are outside now. Whatever they're doing there, you should also be doing it here. So the first thing is, you should know that the purpose of going there to do itikaf is to worship Allah extraordinarily. So what are the things you'll be doing is, one, they are exterminating the salat. You should observe more of supplicatory prayers. It's compulsory for you to observe the 5 daily prayers. Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. All those ones are compulsory for you. But the ones that are not compulsory, is for a obligatory one, then you must make sure you do them in abundance. That's number fair. You must do them. You should do them. Not you must now. No, the first and the right prayer, they are must. You must do them. But this ones now, what are you there for? You are there to worship Allah and to be extraordinary in your acts of worship. Then you must do more of that. Then that means you must, if you have been observing maybe before doing itikaf, after you just go to the mosque doing the Dhuhr prayer, you observe the Dhuhr prayer, observe 2 rakah. 2 rakah before or 2 rakah after, 4 rakah before, 4 rakah after. So doing this itikaf after the Dhuhr prayer, you can observe as many as you want. Not compulsory you observe that too, because you are there to increase your act of ibadah. So you must increase your prayers in the mosque, the salat in the mosque. That's the first one. The second one is dhikr. You can't use the whole period to observe salat. That's certain. But you can be doing some other things like dhikr. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, astaghfirullah, 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 alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. You can be seeking blessing for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All kinds of dhikr. Any kind of dhikr that comes to your mind, you can be doing them. Okay. Some mistake we make is some people think it is compulsory for them to make rosary to do dhikr. No, it's not compulsory. It's not even recommended in Sharia. This is a voluntary action. You can be doing it without even counting them.
Yes.
You doing it without counting them. So it's like having a fixed deposit. Whatever you put in the account, you meet it. Whatever you do, you will see in your day of Qiyamah. So be doing your dhikr without even counting them. So that's another thing you can be doing. And this is doing to some of us who are outside the masjid, who are not doing itikaf. As they are doing it there, we should also be doing it. The only difference is that they will since they are there doing, they are there for that purpose. Definitely their own will be more than some of us who are outside. No. Definitely, there's no way. Because now I've been here now, I'm not in the mosque. He is there. The only thing that I can do apart from doing dhikr or doing other act of ibadah is sleeping. For me, if I'm outside, I'm not doing the itikaf, I can sleep, I can do anything, I can go anywhere. But for the one doing itikaf, you can't go anywhere. You can only be in the mosque. So you should be doing dhikr. Remember Allah most often than not. Now, another thing is dua. You should be making prayer. Some people don't know how to pray. As Muslims, you must be making supplications. You have a lot of things you need from Allah. Ask Allah for whatever you want. Allah will do it. Allah doesn't love those who do not ask. He doesn't like them. There is a verse in the Quran that says, "Inna Allah," if I can remember the verse, if I remember, I'll come back to it. If I remember, inshallah. But as Muslims, we must be prayerful. We must make a lot of supplications. Whatever you think is difficult for you in this world, ask Allah to make it easy for you. Apart from that, some people, they pray, but what they ask for is this worldly benefits. Pray for Qiyamah, pray for Jannah, pray for ease in the qabr, in your grave. So don't limit your prayers to worldly benefits. No, ask for the akhirah, ask for Jannah. So you must be prayerful, full of supplications. Another thing we do during itikaf, and for some of us who are even outside the mosque. Another thing is qira'atul Quran. That is very important. Some people are lazy, they don't know how to recite Quran. Some people, since we have started the Ramadan now, since the first day till today, first day, some people have not finished a single Quran. That is too bad. Because they are busy. We must not allow our schedule to affect our act of ibadah. So we should, those who are in the masjid, they are doing itikaf, then they should recite Quran as much as possible. For some of us outside too, we should intensify our recitation of Quran. We should read Quran, recite Quran. Whatever we read from the Quran, we'll be worried for it. For a single word, we have 10 rewards. That is it. That's the first I said, if you recite the Quran, for a particular word you pronounce, you will be given 10 rewards. I'm not saying Alif Lam Mim is 10 reward. Alif
10 reward.
Lam 10 reward. Mim 10 reward. So if you now recite Quran during itikaf, then if you have been reciting it before you move to the itikaf, to move to the mosque for itikaf, then you must intensify. You must increase in the recitation of the Quran. That's another thing we should do during itikaf. Another thing is tawbah. As human being, definitely we will commit one sin or the other. There's no way you can do it. We're not prophets, we're not angels. So we should make tawbah. As Muslims, before this period, I have been engaging in acts of zina. Now I'm coming back to you, and I won't go back to it. Make tawbah. All sins you have been engaged in before Ramadan, make tawbah and don't go back to them. That's one of the purposes. That's one of the things you can do while doing itikaf. Some of us who are outside too, we should make tawbah. All those things we have been doing that are not good, that Islam finds out, and we should abstain from it. We should regret those actions, and we should not go back to them. Another thing I'll mention is briefly istighfar. You should seek for. There's a difference between tawbah and istighfar. There are some sins that we commit, we don't know if we have committed them.
Yes.
So Allah forgive us those things by seeking istighfar. Even if you know those things, you seek istighfar. Tawbah is having a resolution that, okay, I've been doing this thing, particular thing, I've been committing particular sin, then Allah, I regret doing it, and I forgive me, and I won't go back to it. That is tawbah. So there are two different things. So apart from tawbah, you should also seek istighfar. And every other things, we think that the act of ibadah that we can think of, then we can engage in them with this particular period. I don't know if I have some kind of time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah. Like, I really learned a lot. Especially the istighfar and tawbah. I'm like, should be the teacher to seek for forgiveness. But you know, sometimes truly there are some things that we commit knowingly and unknowingly. So it's very important to actually, you know, ask Almighty Allah to forgive each and everyone. So you guys heard it all. Please and please and please and please. Nobody's guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody's even guaranteed the next minute or even the next hour. So there's need for us to intensify in our ibadah, as I said earlier. Please, please and please. All these are watching of movies. Let us end it for now. Please, you can always go back to them afterward. But right now, just ask Almighty Allah for anything you want. And I know sometimes it's very hard for people to actually, you know, stand up in the middle of the night and be like, this is the perfect time for me to sleep. That sleep is sweet. I know, right? I know, but please just think of the reward you get if you actually did stand up in this night. So yes, try to stand up throughout this 10 nights. You know, set an alarm for those who don't actually know how to wake up and they want to wake up. Please set an alarm. For someone that likes to sleep a lot, yeah, you know, want to wake up by 2, set an alarm by probably 1:50 or 1:30. So you can actually do whatever you want to do before that too. You understand? So please and please let us try to, as much as possible, to increase our ibadah in terms of prayer, in terms of, you know, ask for istighfar, and please let us also try to ask for reasonable things. As in, that word is very important. People just asking God, please, I want car, God, I don't understand. Fine, these things are very, very important, but then trust me, what about you ask for longevity of life? What about you ask for sound health? What about you ask for Jannah? What about you pray for your parents that they reap the fruit of their life? All those things are actually, you know, I feel like they are more important than these things, because if you have all these things, then definitely the other ones will actually come, you know, easy peasy. So please let us be very, 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 very careful of the things we ask for during this time, and let us be, you know, let us try to, you know, be a better Muslim. You know, every year, you know, we get new Ramadans that we don't even know if you meet up to. So try to make this as the beginning of your best Ramadan, and inshallah be good. Almighty Allah will count us as those who witness the next Ramadan and more Ramadans afterwards. So with this, I'll be saying Jazakumullah khairan to our speaker, and Jazakumullah khairan for my good audience out there. So please don't forget to like, share and comment on our pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on Twitter at Cream Radio and TV. Once again, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Cream Radio and TV. Please and please try to follow us, like, share, and give us your feedbacks on whatever you want us to improve on or things you feel that, you know, we can also impute. Yeah, we also market, just in case you want to market your product, please, our DM is slippery. Alright, with this, I'll be saying Jazakumullah khairan. Yes, it's Jummah. Don't forget to pray. Please, if I do cross your mind, remember me, your dua. Please, everybody needs it. May Almighty Allah keep us on the right path. May He make us better Muslims than we are, and may He increase us in iman and steadfastness. So with this, I'll be saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.